So last time we talked about when a is 1. So remember, we are talking about trinomials. Does anyone remember what a trinomial is from last time? How do you explain what a trinomial is? Remember? So let me pull it up. So this is what a trinomial is. So we have, does this sound familiar? We have y, and then we have three terms. We have a term with x squared, we have a term with x, and then we have a term with no x. So a is the number in front of x squared. This happens because I'm using my mouse. 10 liters of gas. So that was, sorry. I put it on my email. If I click over here, it doesn't. Let's start a video. All right, so a is the term in front of x squared, b is the term in front of x, and c is the term by itself with no x. So last time we talked about when a is 1, so we just have x squared and then other things. Today we're going to talk about when a is not 1, so maybe a is 2, maybe a is 6. Pushing all sorts of stuff today. So this becomes a little bit more complicated when we're factoring, okay? So today, instead of just putting c up here, we're going to do a times c. So whatever number is in front of x squared times c we put at the top. Does this sound familiar? Have you done this before? Okay. If you haven't, that's okay. If you have, this is just a review. We're just going to practice. This is a good thing to know how to do. And then the middle number b just goes at the bottom. So that's the same as yesterday. We're just adding a times c at the top. Okay. And then we're going to do the same thing. What numbers multiply to get this number, a times c, and add to get b? Okay. So it's very similar. So let's go ahead and do an example. Let me turn on our pen tool. So we have this trinomial, 2x squared minus 7x plus 6. So the number that goes up here is 2 times 6. So I just wrote 12 because I know 2 times 6 is 12. And then negative 7 goes down here. So I need to think of numbers that multiply to get 12 and add up to get negative 7. Okay, so negative 4 and negative 3. Good. So negative 4 times negative 3 gives us positive 12, and negative 4 plus negative 3 gives us negative 7. Good. So then the next part is we want to put this in our parentheses, right? We want something like this. But we have to do one extra step. Okay? So the extra step is we have to take whatever number is a and divide these numbers by a. Okay, so that's the extra step today because it's more complicated. Because a is not 1, we have to divide by a. Okay? And so here it simplifies. 4 divided by 2 is 2, so that one's fine. But over here we have x minus 3 halves. And we don't want a fraction here, so don't leave the fraction. What we're going to do is we're going to bring the bottom of the fraction up. Okay, this is called the bottom up method. We bring the bottom of the fraction up in front of the number. So now our answer is, we have this factor, x minus 2, and we have this factor, we have 2x minus 3. That's a little bit messy. Does that make sense? So we have to take our factors that we found, divide them by a, and then if we have a fraction, we need to bring the bottom of the fraction in front of x. Okay. All right, let's go ahead and we'll practice a few on our homework. Did I bring my homework? I think I printed it off, but I didn't go get it. Let me go grab it. here we go. We have some blue. So some of these still have A as 1. So most of them we're going to have to use our new method. Okay, here we go. So this is kind of small. I might work on a separate paper, or you can work on the back. All right. So let me pull out the paper. We'll do a few. So let's do one that's just like what we've been doing. Let's do number 3. So on 3, what is A? A is 1. Yep. So for number 3, A is 1. So I can still do the bottoms up method. A is just 1. So I do -4 times 1. That gives me -4. Okay. Or I can just write -4. If I see that A is 1, I can just write -4. And then B here is 3. So I need factors that multiply to get -4 and add to get 3. Can you think of some numbers up? Good. -1 and 4. Good. So we need one of these to be negative because the top number is negative. Negative times a positive gives us a negative. And then the big number needs to be positive because our number down here is positive. So 4 plus 1, -1 gives us 3. Perfect. Okay, so then our factors are, we have P minus 1, and we have P plus 4. And our next step would be to divide by A, but A is just 1, and anything divided by 1 is just, it stays the same. So that would be our answer for 3. And if you, I can give you scratch paper if you want. You can use scratch paper. You can write up on the paper if you want. I just need to be able to find your answer on whatever you submit. Okay. All right, questions on that one? Let's try one where A is not 1. So look through, is there any that you want to do, or I can pick one too? Look for a number that A is not 1, and we'll do that one together. Number 4? 24. Okay. Let's scoot down. I'm going to move to number 24 over here. Okay, I'm going to pull up my scratch paper. Let's do this one. So here, A is not 1. A is 10. So what needs to go in the top of this X? 30. Good. So 10 times 3 is 30. Perfect. And then what needs to go on the bottom? 17. Good. So we need to think of factors of 30. They multiply to give us 30, and they add to give us 17. You're good. You're good at this. 15 and 2. Are you good at multiplication? Good. Okay, so here's our factors. And what we're going to do is we're going to take we have, what is our variable? R plus 15 and R plus 2. And then we have to remember our next step. We have to take A. Here A is 10, and we have to divide by 10. So we just take our number, R plus 15 divided by 10. R plus 2 divided by 10. So the first thing that we need to do here is to simplify. Oh, yes. Sorry. So I wrote my factors, r plus 15, r plus 2. And then I need to divide the number by a. So here, a is 10. So I'm going to do 15 divided by 10, and then 2 divided by 10. But we're not done. We need to simplify. So what number can go into 15 and 10 to help us reduce our fraction? Good, 5. So we're going to take 15 and divide by 5, and 10 divided by 5. So 15 divided by 5 is 3. 10 divided by 5 is 2. Okay, we're not quite done. Now we need to do what can go into 2 and 10? 2. Good. So 2 divided by 2, 10 divided by 2. So we have r plus 1. 2 divided by 2 is 1. 10 divided by 2 is 5. And then remember, we can't have a fraction, so we just take the bottom number and move it in the front. So we have 2r plus 3, and we're moving 5, bottom of the fraction up, 5r plus 1. And then that will be our answer for, this is number 24. So a few more steps than last time, but pretty much the same method. Okay, let's do a few more. Are there any more that you guys see that look tricky? Oops, there we go. Let's see, how about, what one? 12? Okay, 12. So what number needs to go on the top for number 12? So we have to take negative 45 times 4, so C times A, I don't know that. 180? Oh, that makes sense. 180, and it's going to be negative. Okay, and then what number needs to go on the bottom? 11, good, 11. Okay, so we need things that multiply to give us negative 180, and they need to add to 11. So if I don't know it, I just divide. So I do 180, I think, well, I know 18 will go in there, but that doesn't work. So 18 and 10, that doesn't quite work. They're not 11 apart. Okay, 90 and 2, but they're not 11 apart, so that doesn't quite work. Let's see. So what else divides by 180? Does 12 go in there? 15. Okay, that doesn't work either. 12 and 15. Which one? So how about, let's see, 180 divided by, what about 6? 30. They're not 11 apart, so that's not going to work.
9 and 20.
Oh, did you say 20?
I said 9 because I didn't see the 0 in the 180.
Oh, 90 works, but it doesn't. It's not the difference, is it? So 20 doesn't work because 90 times 20 would be 1800 because you got 2 zeros. Nine times 20. Oh, is that what you're saying? Am I hearing it wrong? Oh, that's what you said. Okay, I heard 90 times 20. Okay, perfect. There we go. So 9 times 20 is 180. Perfect. And these are 11 apart. Perfect. So 9 times 20. Which one needs to be negative? The 9. Good. Okay. So then we've got our factor. So this is 12. Our variable is n. So n minus 9 and n plus 20. And then remember a was 4 here. So we need to divide the number by 4. And then we're going to simplify. So can we divide anything here? No. So 9 and 4, they don't have a common factor. So the only thing we can do is we can bring the 4 in front of the n. So this would be 4n minus 9. Okay, and then how about here? We have n plus 20 divided by 4. What's 20 divided by 4? 5. So that one's set. 20 divided by 4, simplify, that's 5. So we have n plus 5. So that will be our answer on number 12. Okay, questions on how we're doing this? Is that making sense? Okay, maybe let's try one more together. If you're ready to go, you can just work. But let's do one more, just in case because this is a little bit different than last time. So let's look through there. Is there any 11? Okay, I'm going to move my notebook. Here is 11. Okay, so number 11. What number will go on the top? Okay, you're quick. 144. So how did you get that again? Good. A times C. 9 times 16 gives us 144. Perfect. And then what number needs to go on the bottom? Perfect. Okay, so then we need numbers that multiply to give us 144 and add to give us 40. So I don't know that. So if I just take 144 and I start dividing it by numbers. So I wonder if 24 will go in there. So 24 and 6, but those aren't 40 apart, so that didn't work. What about 144 divided by 2? Oh, now I can't. Okay, 144. Which one? 4 and 36? Perfect. So 4 and 36. So how do you just know that one? Or how do you just calculate it? Okay, that works too. I just wondering if you had a trick. You're quick. So 4 and 36, and they're both positive. So we just take our variable here is r. If you use x, that's okay. So r plus 4, and then r plus 36, and then we take a is 9, and we divide the number by a. So r plus 4 divided by 9, r plus 36 divided by 9, and now we are going to simplify. Simplify if you can. So here, can we simplify? Is there anything that goes into 4 and also goes into 9? No. So all we have to do is we just bring the bottom of the fraction up. But we have to check and see if it can simplify first. Okay, how about this one? 36 and 9. So 36 divided by 9 is 4? Okay. So if we divide both of these by 9, then we'll get 4. And then that one's done. Okay, questions on that? Is that starting to make sense? Okay. All right, I'll let you go ahead and work on that. I will also work on a key to post. And let's see, we have about 45 minutes, so we should have a good amount of time. So we learned this today. We're going to do one more worksheet on this next time, and then we'll have a work day. That's our plan. Yep. Yes, that one, that's